Some panels here, like this one here, and the ones at the top of the hill here, with the rise on the right. They tell you about the history of the area, indigenous people here, and bridges that have been over here over the time. It's been crossed with a bridge. Out on the left there, Goullburn Showground, and up behind that, South Hill, an historic Goullburn property. And I don't know if you can hear the wind in the microphone. Getting a bit of wind flying up the hill from the bridge here. As you can see, it slopes down, not much of a slope. The road's pretty wide here, so and you get a bit of a breeze, good for cooling. Those who are looking, 6.44 kilometres to here. All of these panels here about the bridge and the Goullburn brewery and so on. I said I wasn't going to tell you the distance all the time, but who wanted to get a bit of a perspective from my house to here, 6.45 kilometres. We turned around and went back again. Obviously that'll be double that distance. I think there's about another 2 and a bit kilometres to my house. Try not to look at my watch too much when I'm running, because either you'll get a false sense of impression that you're doing pretty well, or you'll see, and you probably are, or you'll look at the time and think, gee, that's pretty slow, and you'll be disappointed and maybe try to run harder than you should at a particular point. At the end, I want to get a good time, of course, but most days during the week, it's just about running a distance or a route or something. And getting all the maps and stats and lap times and all that recorded. It's because that's the sort of stuff I collect. I suppose other runners do too. In an ideal world, it was nice and still and so on, I'd run every kilometre in under 6 minutes. That doesn't always happen though, because obviously not always still, not always flat, and even running to a bit over 6.5 kilometres maybe, the fatigue does set in sometimes. And even if it's not fatigue, you learn to pace yourself because you know how much further you've got to go before you're back where you started from or whatever. Now, a 6 minute thing just seems like a reasonable thing for someone my age. Other people I see running park running something like 16 minutes or whatever, 17 minutes. They must be running each kilometre in about 3 minutes or a bit over 3 minutes, and in some cases they've got Well, I've got 30 or 40 years on them, so I figure if I can do it in under 6 minutes per kilometre, that's pretty good effort. Just coming up in front of me to my left, I'll use it looks like a rusty steel column. It's one of 3 or 4 straight ahead of me here. I hope you can see it, in Goullburn. They're part of what's called a Remembrance Avenue, and they have a red poppy on them, and they are memorial to servicemen. There's one there, there's one that I know of that's a bit further out here on the Braidwood Road. So if we went left, we went out past the basketball stadium, or the old arena I think it's now called. There's another one, and there's one down near Marsden Weir. I'm not sure when they were put up. I only noticed that one a few months ago when I first ran this track, and the same with the one out near the basketball arena. And then, even though I've been going down to Marsden Weir, a park run for, I don't know, on 3 and a bit years or something. I only noticed that one a little while ago. It may have been there and I hadn't noticed it, or it may be a new installation, if that's the right word. Coming up Braidwood Road, over the railway line. And you'll remember from the 3 Bridges video, at this then take us onto Sloane Street and back towards the CBD. Down off the railway line crossing onto Sloane Street. A busy road here, no footpath on this side. Try and get across the road onto the other side as quickly as possible, like now. And at least there is a footpath to run on. Over on the right there, the railway underpass to East Goullburn. I think it's called Blackshaw Road, that road there. Floods there as well. So rain, automatically barrier comes down, prevent people trying to drive through the water. And yes, they had people in the past who've done that. The Great Southern Railway Hotel on my left hand side here. Like everywhere in town, no mask, no entry. Crossing Vernon Street. Coming up to Bungonia Street, across that and go into Belmore Park. Thank you. I don't let me cross the road, so I'm trying to keep a rhythm. On the right hand side of my equipment, so I was just club behind that, a memorial in the middle, very picturesque during spring. All the flowers are in bloom around it. I'm not sure what sort of flowers they are. Sorry. These ones you can see now. The cenotaph, they held the Anzac Day service up ahead. Across the road, the Goullburn Club, Chinese restaurant, and used to be the Fireside Inn restaurant. various historical monuments in Belmore Park to significant events in Goulburn's history. Looking over the traffic there trying to cross Goullburn Street, isn't it? Now. Heading into Clifford Street, out towards the workers' car park. Doctors' surgeries up here. The street on the left where the doctor's surgeries are and the Lilac City Cinemas at the end. It's called McKell Place. I think named after a bloke named Bill McKell, who I think was at one stage Premier of New South Wales.